Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy, Twan. We're back with another episode of the OffTopic podcast. It's going to be episode 6. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I ended up doing this podcast with my family over the Thanksgiving break. But just continue to like, comment, subscribe for more content. We're going to put out more episodes, more videos for you, more guests on the show. So enjoy it all. But I hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's go ahead and get to it. Yes, sir.
Oh, that be something nice too.
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. It's your boy Twan. We back with another episode of the OffTopic podcast. This is episode 6, the Thanksgiving special. With my guest today, I have my family. If you guys want to introduce yourself, you can go ahead.
Brandon.
Ruben. Malachi.
Benny.
What's up? So we here today for this episode for just with my family. We want to come up with our consensus of our ranking of 1 through 5 and who we think are the best players overall in today's NBA as of right now. We do have 5 people, so there's going to be a 3-2 vote on majority. So we're just going to go ahead and go right into it. So, fellas, we're going to rank 1 through 5. So I think we can go ahead and discuss who we think should start on that list. I think it'll be right to just throw out the name Joker. I think Joker could be one possibility being the number 1 rank of this.
Possible number 1.
Possible number 1 rank. But what do you guys think for so far? If there's any other names you guys think of?
I mean, Joker's dope. I've gotten 1 year where I'm like, okay, he's convincing me. But it's just been one season. You know, we've seen players that run the table. You know, like Shaq, he's won 3 rings, or he's won 4 rings or whatever.
4.
Before I give him that number 1 spot, I got to see more than one good season on a healthy team. You know what I mean? Everybody was healthy. The team all played good. It was a good season, no doubt. But we've also seen him in the bubble where he was getting beasted by AD. So I can't just give him a consensus number 1. He's in top 5. He's in top 5.
So if it's not Joker, who else would you say?
I would add another name in that top 5. I'm not sure he's going to be number 1, but I would have to go with my man Durant. Durant still is, KD is still an elite scorer. We all with easy money sniper. He can get buckets any game, anytime. I still think he's in the top 5.
50% from the 3-point range this year. Over
51.
50%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
51.
over 50% from
I mean,
3-point range.
that's like guaranteed money.
But I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say KD at number 1 overall when we have a player like Joker who is averaging a triple double pretty much about 2-3 seasons. Still, to about 2-3 seasons in a row now. I know they're just coming off an NBA championship, but I think that is somebody that has been consistent for as long as we know right now. But if you guys don't think number 1, what do you guys think?
I'm not for sure going for number 1 spot, but top 5, I gotta throw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in there.
Who?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I feel like is a really underrated player and actually a superstar. We're talking about it. I mean, I feel like should be an all-star, not even a reserve, an all-star starter for like no doubt.
It's on you, B.
So, all-star starter. Who would be your 5 starting in the West?
In the West? All right. Man.
You got KD, you got Luka. Those are automatic. I mean, yeah, you got KD, you got Luka, you got Joker. You know those are already those 3 spots.
I think you probably have to take out the small forward spot and really put 3 guards and go Shai, Curry, and Luka.
Okay, I'm sorry, and you say Curry and LeBron. That's your 5. That's what's going to be your starting 5 in the All-Stars.
Now that they've gone back to the East versus West, it's really tough.
Yeah, it is.
But, you know, for the purpose of what we're trying to complete.
No, I get it. What I'm saying is how you say he's a top 5 when he wouldn't even start in the All-Star in the West.
Ooh.
Shai Gilgeous.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't probably be a Western Conference starter in the All-Star game. So how can you?
He did last year.
But are we saying this is number 1?
No. Like I said, when I started, I said I'm not going for number 1 spot.
Okay.
He's a top 5 player in the league right now to me.
I think it's easier to put the 5 out there and then we rank them after we can figure out who the 5 are because it's a lot of players.
So we got Joker, we got Giannis, we got Joel Embiid. I mean, we got some star players we can throw out there in the names. Me, arguably, I'm going to throw Stephen Curry out there as well. At least if not 4 or 5, that's probably where I'm going to be sitting him at.
I mean,
So.
if you're going to throw your guy, it's hard for me to keep my guy out. You knew this was coming. King James should be in every conversation, no matter what the conversation is. King James got to be in there.
It's on me.
All right, well, let's see.
LeBron?
He's averaging 28 points a game as a 38-year-old, bro. Come on, like, he's still doing his thing. The game is still running through him. The team is not going to win if he's not playing well.
So at least, all right, so before we continue, can we at least get our number one? Can we at least come up with our number one pick of what we think? I know there's a few more players we have to go through, but can we come to a consensus of our number one ranking for 1 through 5? What would be our
number
top
one
name? Is Joker, is that absurd to say Joker's number one?
It's not absurd.
Finals MVP. I mean,
Is that we can.
two-time MVP.
Okay, I give you Joker. I give you Joker.
Joke, are we fair in saying that Joker will be number one so far? As of right now, anything could change in the next 2
16
months.
games that they played this season.
Okay, so I guess as a consensus, we're going to say number one for our
I
first.
don't like that,
Well,
but I'll allow it.
Yeah, we have to allow it.
Okay.
It's just Joker. It's just Joker. Like, there's nothing special about rooting for Joker. Like, his game is boring.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, but you can't, eventually you just got to come to consensus that the dude he is the truth. And as much as people don't want to admit it,
It's like watching Tim Duncan
it's
play.
like watching Tim Duncan play.
And I guess my biggest take on him just being number one is, I know I said yesterday that he kind of has the same mindset game. Just his how he approaches the game is very similar to how how he sees the floor, how he wants to win as a team. Joker, brings everybody into the floor. He gets everybody active. He gets everybody involved. So I guess we can just go ahead and say number one would be Joker as of right now.
He makes everybody better. I'm good with
So,
that.
all right, number one, Joker.
Yep.
Look go side.
Number one is Joker. So we got number two now sitting up there. I still think Giannis and Joel could fit in that. What do you guys think? We'll be right after Joker, though.
I mean, Luka's got to be in the conversation.
Luka.
I mean, again, you were talking the other day about you take him off the team explodes.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas would not be that squad without Luka. Do you think that Denver would still be that squad without Joker?
That's fair.
And the Sixers without Embiid? It's hard to really say.
Okay.
I watched Giannis the other night because I'm like, we're gonna do this podcast. I'm gonna see, and I wasn't that impressed. I mean, he might have had an off night. It was in Boston.
I think it was an off night.
It was in Boston, but at the end of the day, those are the moments during Thanksgiving week. Those are the moments where you make your name.
Primetime game.
Primetime game.
Everybody's watching.
And he didn't show up.
Okay. I would agree that Giannis, I think he is probably top 3, probably top 4. I don't know if I would put Giannis at 2.
No.
Right now speaking, I know that Milwaukee has some things they need to figure out with Dame and everything. Who would be a strong 2 for you guys, though? If not
Strong
Giannis.
2.
If not Giannis. Because Joel can still be throwing that. You take him away. I mean, did they perform? Sixers perform without him?
Well, I think you're getting strong play now from Maxey, which I believe takes a lot of pressure
Off of him.
and so he can do more with spacing. I believe
Spread the
Maxey
floor, yeah.
You can spread the floor so he can now punish these
Down
other
low,
big men
yeah.
down low, which everybody I think we would agree that he's literally unstoppable once he get on the blocks.
And
There's
as
nobody in the league that's going to stop him. We can include Joker there. We can include AD. There's nobody in the league that can stop him once he get rolling. So I could argue to say I wouldn't be upset if he was 2 or 3.
Joel is coming off, MVP season.
Coming off the MVP season.
And that is a lot to say. I think that he has he don't really got much to prove anymore. It's more so just him winning the championship right now.
Yeah, that's something to prove.
So, something to prove. Yeah, there is something to prove. Yeah, he got something to prove. We got Joel up there. Is there anybody else that could probably compete? I mean, maybe Giannis, yeah, but your argument with LeBron is not,
I mean, if you're going to talk numbers, you got to put LeBron there.
But
This is the thing. The 5.
Yeah.
What are we basing it on?
Okay,
What's the criteria? Is it stats? Is it their importance of being on the floor in the game?
I think a lot goes into good shot. I think a lot goes into our criteria, what that should look like for our top 5. I think we should include stats. I think we should include team success. I think we should just include what the team looks like without this star player. They're a superstar for a reason, so why
So let's make it easier. If the team doesn't have a winning record, we got to pull that person up.
Okay, and that's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And so
Winning record being above 500.
yeah, being above 500.
Okay.
So I feel like that will probably take your guy out for now. And I'm a Steph fan, and I'm watching him balling. But the team is struggling right now. Draymond, the whole 9 yards. I think that would be fair, just for the sake of this argument. If they're not winning right now, they don't give the Heisman to somebody who didn't win.
Didn't win.
So that makes it a little bit easier when we look at teams.
I mean, I think the Sixers are doing very well right now. With Joel, he's healthy. I don't know. I'm still sticking with Joel for number 2 right now.
I like Joel. I like Joel in the top 5. But what about you? Is Dallas winning?
Dallas has been winning. Actually,
As of late.
I still think though I think Kyrie and Dallas can perform without Luka. I think that everything does go through Luka. He has the ball constantly in his hands, but when it comes to this,
He's prime time. Right? You see him in LA, no matter what team he's playing, he balls.
bringing it.
He's balling out. He's balling.
Kyrie did have that game winner the other night too.
Yeah.
What would you say, Big? What would you?
For you saying like for 2, or you saying
for 2? If it's between, are we consensus on that? Maybe Luka or Joel for number 2? We can argue that.
Number 2, I would have to go Joel.
I'm Joel for number 2.
I mean, can you totally just say Joel over Giannis and stuff like that? I mean,
I right now, currently, I would put Joel over Giannis.
And again,
I would too. Joel got.
We're talking the last 16.
yeah.
And I'm just looking at the everything that's in Joel's bag compared to what I've been seeing of Giannis lately. He's starting to pitch nothing but one pitch. He's got the fastball. He's going to the hole. But Joel, man, he's bringing a lot out the bag. So I would have to probably say Joel too.
So Joel. So as of right now, we have Joker at 1, Joel at the 2 spot. Now I think it's going to get kind of controversial with number 3.
yeah, I already know my 5 looks different than everybody else. Only because I just think that the 5 is. It's hard to put guards over certain centers and forwards and stuff like that. I know that, but like. It's like, can they even make the top 5? I mean, can some of these guards?
But the last 3-4 years, it's been Giannis, Joker,
I know.
Joel.
I'm saying. I thought we saying right now though. Are we saying?
Yeah. So KD is 3 for me. KD is 3 for me. I mean, the dude is constantly last 5 games. 5 straight games of 30 points or more.
Oh yeah.
He's doing this thing without D Book's not 100% healthy, and
Bradley Beal.
And Bill's not.
I don't even think they've
yet.
all 3 played on the same court. Yeah, you're right.
He
Yeah.
still
Came back 2
he's
games.
the constant professional at all times.
For
He's
sure.
still just bringing it. So
sure.
I'm still gonna go with KD. He's got to be in my top 3.
KD 3.
I mean, I agree. Only because the numbers just don't lie. 31 points, man, is just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because earlier I was gonna say if you include LeBron, you have to include KD because he's actually scoring more than LeBron right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
And LeBron is that's just my guy. So
for sure.
And I mean, are they even winning? Do they have a winning record?
Lakers.
I think they're closer to 500 than winning.
Let's see.
Yeah. Are we saying KD's probably going to slide into that 3rd spot?
Yeah.
I'm
I
actually.
don't have no two.
Yeah.
Are we structured?
Yeah,
Who
I'm
dropped?
good with KD.
It's
at
your
3.
it's y'all shot.
KD at 3. So again, we
Anything
got
to win?
He scratched.
So far we have Joker
at
1, Joel at 2, and now we have KD as a consensus that KD is going to be the number 3 for our top 5 so far.
Yep.
All right, so now we got 4 right now. I know Luka's still been thrown. His name has been dropped. It's getting kind of.
let's throw out somebody else controversial. He's maybe not everybody's favorite player.
Don't say it. I know who you.
But I'm gonna say it.
Is he light skinned? Is he light skinned?
Yes, he's part of the team light skin. He's not. I'm not saying he's my favorite, but numbers don't lie. He's putting up. I don't want to say great numbers. He's putting up good numbers on a quality team. Tatum.
Oh, okay.
Mr. High.
Mr. High Booty.
One of the
So Tatum. is on a quality team that offense still runs through him.
Right.
Jaylen Brown does get his fair share of shots. And they play defense. You know, I think a lot of times we focus so much on just offensive numbers. But Tatum is one of the few guys in the league who does play both ways.
Right.
And so I think that matters. I'm not saying that he's ready to. I wouldn't put him any higher than 4 or 5, but I think he should definitely be part of the conversation.
I don't think that's irresponsible. It's a good take.
Man, 4 is tough right now. I mean, you got Tatum now, Luka, Giannis still. I mean, we can still argue LeBron.
SGA.
SGA.
SGA has to be in the 5.
That's why.
If you're talking about a player who impacts being on the floor, period.
5 is too. We should have said top 10.
I know. That's why,
I mean,
top 5
even
is.
if you did 5 East, 5 West, it would still be hard.
That'd be tough. That's gonna be tough.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put SGA at 4. Personally, I still think that Luka.
Is it me?
Luka or
So you-
Jason Tatum could probably still go over SGA for me right now. Would argue SGA at the 5th spot though. Really, it's tough for me being a Warriors fan and seeing how much
It's such a small sample size, though. That's the issue. We have
It's been
so much
16
more.
games.
Yeah, we have so much more to talk about with the other players, and he's an up and coming
Who SGA?
SGA. But
And
it's
his
only a
net-
small sample size, 16 games.
Yeah.
It's hard to just put him in that royalty class.
I see.
Y'all stripes.
And I agree with that. I know that. SGA has been performing the last 2 or 3 seasons.
That's what I was gonna
But when we say like JT though, this has been somebody that's been in the playoffs since he's been a rookie.
Yeah.
And we can't forget that. And I think that Boston's been tough. They've been in the finals not too long ago. Man, it's been. And if we're gonna go based off our criteria and everything too, I would probably still put maybe JT over Luka maybe right now, just based off.
Ooh, I don't know. No, I wouldn't say that.
The only thing I would say to that is because I feel like Luka has more of a workload than as far as he has to do everything.
But don't you think Boston has already kind of started to piece around? Getting the Drew Holiday. You still got Jaylen Brown, Derek.
But that's what I'm saying. If Kyrie wasn't on Dallas, Luka really wouldn't have a team around him.
And again,
That's true.
But
That's true.
Luka's been doing that though.
But
before Kyrie was there, Luka was still the top. It was in MVP conversations.
And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I feel like he has more of a workload than Tatum.
I think so.
He's more responsible. He's responsible for more on the offensive end as far as not scoring.
If Luka does not score his average of anywhere between 25 and 35 points, they're not going to win. Or it's going to be a very it's going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Versus Tatum scoring maybe 20, 25.
Yeah.
Those other guys can pick it up on an off night.
And I think for me, with Luka, he's a defensive liability.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about
Both ends of the
game of
floor.
basketball requires you to play. You don't just get to stand at one end and shoot the ball. It requires you to play both ends, and I don't think it's again irresponsible to say he's a liability on the defensive end to where who he's guarding should be able to eat because he's not going to put up much of a fight on the defensive end. His numbers on offense, we all see them,
But
excellent.
that's true. People have said that about Steph too, but still nobody.
He's
still gonna do.
Yeah.
But I think he's on the team.
I think he plays more defense than Luka though.
That's
Yeah.
probably.
And I believe Golden State puts more of a premium on the team defense.
Okay.
They almost tied together on a string to where when you see Dallas play, it's just they just out there. And so my knock again, if I had to choose between the two, because their offensive numbers, you could argue roughly about the same of what they're required to do for their team in order for them to win. Now I got to look at what else do I need to factor in? I look at the defensive end.
As well as for Luka, I think if he doesn't get at least 6, 8, 9 assists,
I don't know, but I think the two-way is important during discussion, especially when it's. Jason Tatum's defense is. Jason Tatum can guard whoever that he can. He can step up and guard when he needs to.
If we're asking who's better, I think Tatum is a better basketball player as far as getting buckets.
Edit it.
then Luka. But I don't know.
All right. So
It's
look,
tough. Bro.
so we got to come up with our 4.
I think I'm going.
So what will be our top 2? At least top 2 for that fourth spot. For the fourth spot.
I'm good.
I'm going Tate.
I'm going Tatum for sure. Yeah.
I'm not going to take Tatum over Giannis.
Oh, Giannis still not. Oh,
And I mean, to your point, Giannis.
Yeah, I can't take Tatum over Giannis.
Okay. So
So
would it be
So I
Giannis?
think the argument then would be for the 4th spot, we got 3 people that could
Be in
go.
that
So
spot.
Giannis or Luka?
Giannis.
For
Giannis.
the 4th spot.
Fourth spot, I would say Giannis.
Giannis.
I would say Giannis there.
Okay. I mean, Brandon, you got a problem with Giannis at 4?
no. I didn't even know he still wasn't in there.
That's pretty
Just
close.
recap.
Wait,
One.
So 1, we have Joker. 2, we have Joel Embiid. 3, we did put KD. And 4, we're saying Giannis.
Giannis.
I think that's fair.
That's just the thing. Like, that's just a no guard. Like guards don't even have a chance, man. Like it's just tough, bro. It's just tough.
So look, we got our 5 spot. I mean, you can
I
still.
mean,
throw
we're
your
not
S-
building. We're not building a starting 5.
No.
You know what I mean? If we was building a starting 5, then yeah, you got to look at the different.
I mean, to your point, I mean, you know, the last few MVPs. I mean, since that everybody, it's been bigs right now. It's just bigs are just really important.
Which is
to the game.
strange because bigs are not truly bigs anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not playing as big.
Like stretches.
Yeah, they're stretches. You know, I see Cat sitting on the 3-point line. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's an adjustment. So we just need that number 5.
We just
right?
need a number 5 spot. So at least for this 5th spot, we could probably, add in our honorable mentions.
Okay, now I like
Honorable
that.
mentions, but we at least gotta have a 5 for a name for that 5th spot. I still think got Tatum, Luka, SGA. Brennan's throwing out there. If you still got a strong argument for LeBron to be over the 5th spot, we can throw that in there too.
I'm gonna pull back on LeBron. You know, you can't be in the top 5 if you got minutes restrictions based on your age. You know what I mean? So,
But he played 40 minutes,
yeah.
35 minutes the last.
What worries
3
me?
games?
What worries me is he cannot.
Do it consistently.
He can't do this all season and be viable for the playoffs if they giving him any kind of minutes. So LeBron is my number 1 player of all time, over Jordan, over everybody. Another day, another conversation, another podcast.
Yeah.
He's my number 1. But for this particular argument, I'm not gonna put up a big fight to put LeBron in the top.
So we still got Luka. We still have Jason Tatum. I think SGA is still somebody we could probably still argue for that. I guess now for us it would be how are we going to decide for this last spot?
I think to me personally, I think you have to just stats, bro. Like I really do.
It's fair for the last spot, because
Stats, then it's got to be SGA.
The SGA is averaging over 30 points a game.
Yeah, 31 point something, 31.4.
He's averaging 30.
36 assists. I mean, last night he just had 40 and 12 assists. Like, I don't know.
wow.
But I mean, is that not something that Luka can do?
No, definitely.
But has he done it in the last 16 games?
And then on top of
The
that,
criteria was 2023.
and then on top of that,
from right now.
the game before that he had 28. The game before that he had 40 again.
Okay. I mean, SGA is strong. How are you feeling though with SGA and an argument between Jason Tatum?
Oh, Tatum's okay.
Yeah.
5th spot. Tatum.
The 5th spot could be, Tatum. It could be SGA.
Well, if we say we going stats, what's his stats? Besides points.
Besides points.
I mean, because you still need to rebound the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
You
You're
still
right.
need to
So
have
Tatum
assists.
is averaging 9 rebounds, 4 assists,
How many points?
27.9, so 28.
Okay. So 28 to SGA's 30.
Who has the better team if you take him away?
Who has the better team if you take them away? Celtics.
Hands down.
You have Drew Holiday, you have Porzingis, you have Al Horford, you
So
have
You got White, Derek White.
say again.
So that helps your argument with SGA is that he's doing this on a team with, I wouldn't say inferior, but basically inferior talent.
Well,
around.
one of the youngest teams in the
Yeah,
league.
One of the youngest in the
Which they probably shouldn't even be where they're at right now, just based off, Chet is still just technically still a rookie,
right?
I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, SGA's.
I don't know. It's tough. I mean,
I think-
I just personally, it's no guards in this
Because
top five
he's
right
an
now.
all-star starter. He's a starter
Who's
for
that?
all-stars.
Both of them
Yeah,
are. Both
yeah,
of
that's
them
true.
are.
But
Yeah.
East and West, but I mean.
Tatum, you're not having an
In the
all-star
West
game,
is-
and Tatum's not in.
But
starting
and
lineup
also
too, though.
to your point,
Yeah.
the West is a lot tougher than the East right now.
to make the starter, yeah.
We've seen a lot of Tatum. We've seen a lot of him in the playoffs. We know what to expect from him. I
Right.
like the idea of SGA being somebody different, and his potential. He hasn't even reached his full potential.
Yeah.
His ceiling is very high. I think that what we see from Tatum is what we will continue to see.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like he's at his peak.
Plateau. He's plateaued.
He's plateaued. I
Which
don't know if
in
the
this
guy-
case isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
No.
It's just SGA's potential and where he's going. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Brandon, you make a compelling argument.
You do. I'm gonna throw one last name though. All right,
One last name? Who's
How
it
would
on?
you
It's on me?
feel
Who's
about Ant-Man?
Oh, man, that's so crazy you said that because I was going.
That was my argument. I didn't bring
Guess who's number one in the West right now?
Who?
Timberwolves. Number one in the West right now.
I'm not ready for it. I'm not
Okay.
ready. He's
That
not,
was my argument the other day. Was Anthony
he's
Edwards,
not even in the top 10 in scoring.
but his impact. Because we said number 5 was impact
Yeah,
and stats.
Yeah.
And if you take away Ant, I to be completely honest, no disrespect to Cat, but
Cat's not consistent
he's not
enough.
consistent enough.
Yeah.
He's a big man that still wants to be a guard.
And then Rudy doesn't really score like that.
And Rudy don't.
Well,
score.
Rudy gets choked, so
No. He's the choke point around the bucket. You know what I mean?
So I mean, okay, all right, man, that's
and he's a leader.
I was gonna say the only other thing I was gonna say is that Ant was what, number 2 pick or number 1?
he was one. Who was that year?
It was 1, then Wiseman, then Melo, right?
Melo, yeah.
I was gonna say Shea, if you remember, got drafted by the Clippers. He was like what, 22nd pick or something.
Mm-hmm.
So no one really thought that he would, until he got to the Thunder and just took over. And to your point, actually, I believe CP3 was actually a big part of that because if you remember, CP3 was on the Thunder.
Yeah.
When SGA got there. And
So would you guys say that Tatum? Are you guys saying that Tatum is over Anthony Edwards? Tatum?
Yes.
Yeah, more experience.
So we're
I
still.
guess.
So it's looking like okay, and then we still say how we feel about Luka and
Oh
Ant.
man, dang.
So, I don't like Luka. Honestly. Luka falls in the same category as Joker to me. I'm
Okay.
watching you back down. But he's productive.
Yeah.
He's
It's
productive.
fundamentals.
He just, and he's been playing this game for a long time. He may be young, but he's old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
He played against
Older
Westbrook
game.
when he was
Right.
like 16 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
as much as I would like to have Anthony Edwards down here playing pool with us. He's like a cool cat.
Yeah, I think that's
to
all.
kick it with.
Yeah.
And he can ball, and he's a
Yeah.
leader. But I don't think I would pick him on my team if I was a general manager and they was like, hey, you got Luka or Anthony Edwards. Right now, today it would be Luka.
Okay. So all right. So I'm gonna pull back on Anthony Edwards. I just wanted to see what you guys' take
It was
was.
good for argument's
You
sake.
know. So I mean, we still, to Brandon's point, we still got SGA. I mean, at this point, I do feel like maybe SGA should probably be over Luka. I think we can agree on that. I think the biggest argument was just with Jason Tatum, and that's kind of good. I guess we can put that to a vote. SGA or Tate.
I go with SGA.
SGA.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with
Yeah.
that, but
Man.
yeah.
I think it's more of if you take one of them out, what does the team do? I think Celtics will make the
Yeah,
playoffs. I think they still make the playoffs.
They're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
When Derek White's dropping 30,
Yeah. And he's your 6th man or,
Yeah, they're going to the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, maybe second, third round.
Yeah.
Thunder is just, it's just a young team. They're developing this and that.
Yeah.
If FGA is not there.
I mean, they're the hottest thing right now. I mean, and it's like I said, it's tough for me just being a Warriors fan. They exposed us. They exposed my veterans. Like, really, all the young guys have been exposing everybody right now.
but age is a factor.
It's a real
That's
thing.
true.
It's a real thing.
That's the real battle.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking.
You were around the corner from seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, you'd be like, okay.
I mean, it's yeah.
Okay.
And then as a point guard, SGA is 6'6" as a point guard.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't even know. I don't think I knew that.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
if I'm not mistaken. I know he's taller. You know,
over 6'5".
yeah.
Set you up.
So I guess we'll say that fifth spot is going to be SGA, at least for our top 5. So as of right now, we do for our family Thanksgiving special for our top 5 on just our ranking. We have so far Joker and this is just as of right now currently. This is like 16, 17, 18 games in. But number 1 we have Joker. Number 2 we have Joel Embiid, KD at the 3 spot. At number 4 we said Giannis at number 4. And to put respect to SGA, we're going to throw him in there in the 5th spot. We do have our honorable mentions of Jason Tatum, Luka, and Steph, LeBron. And I think those are all still people that if any other day, I mean, another month from now, they could probably still slide up there. But
it'll be interesting to see at the end of the season how this list holds up.
Yeah.
Compared to, what actually happens on the court.
And this will be something we can always reconvene on and see, how that all unfolds later on. But I'm happy with that list. I think it'd be something that we could, argue with other people against. But this was,
Hey, we just want to thank you for having us on the podcast. We've been watching it. We're big fans. And, we're wishing you nothing but success and luck as you go forward with your podcast.
Appreciate it. I thank y'all for coming out, being my guest for today's episode.
Much respect.
Thank y'all. But yeah, that's this is our consensus on our top 5. This was episode 6. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. We got more content for you guys, but I thank you guys for joining. Until next time, we see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Wait, how we gotta do that all again? Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Straight to the strip, our singles. They peeping straight through the peephole. You a lame, you a dork.